At some point, I need somebody to call me out on my bullshit. So that's a big gift of men's work, is being called out on your fucking bullshit, which we all have.
Okay, let's go.
Hello my friend, my name is Casper Veda and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I want to share a little bit about why I joined a men's group and what I got out of it. I have been on this path of self-realization for a long time, studying yoga, studying tantra, studying meditation, studying medicine, shamanism, all these paths that leads to this place of emptiness, this place of freedom, this sense of transcending this world. I'd been caught in that illusion for a long time, and at that point in my life I'd been like 9 years on this path, and I ended up moving to Amsterdam on a very brief whim from this beautiful woman that I met in a yoga festival, and I was there, we had a beautiful time, and within a very short time I made the decision of moving there. And we'd been together for 12 years and I decided to move there, packed all my stuff and went to Amsterdam. And a lot of time meditating, a lot of time thinking that I could calm my mind, until I faced standing in front of this being, this very feminine being with her feminine storm, and not having any clue about what to do with this. I had no practice in that. I had a lot of practice in meditating and breathing deep and this embodied feeling, but to handle a discussion that you can't just leave off, where you feel you can't just leave, I was in a big trouble very quickly. And luck would have it, I got invited to a men's group and I dabbled into this men's group. It was a completely new creation, this men's group, and it was quite difficult. They had some men who had some men's work facilitation experience. This is like 7 years ago now. But it felt a little bit strange, and the first time I sat in a group I felt very awkward. Like, who are these men and what do they think about me and the problems that I have in my life? I was afraid to get judged. I was afraid to get judged for the problems that I had. Thinking that I've been through all this experience of self-knowledge to try to learn about myself, and I still had these problems. I felt ashamed of that. And sharing about that was difficult. I had the fear of, do they think I have some kind of interest in other men, or like judgment about my sexuality, all these things. A lot of things came up in this first meeting. And I think we had like 4 or 5 meetings, and then the group got more and more difficult to gather. And just a couple of months after that I got invited for another men's group, which I'm still part of today. And wow, everything changed. Being with the same group of men, sharing everything. It's the beauty about a men's group is it's possible to share everything. It's possible to realize that everything that I have or am going through, somebody else is going through it or have been through it. So I'm not alone. I'm not alone with my problems. And to be recognized in that, to be seen in that, to put words on that, to express that, and be received by some other being, which is a man, which we have a tendency to see as a competition, receive that, and holding that in love, in nurture, is extremely healing for us. So this path of men's work is very healing. It's very healing for our masculinity. It's very healing for our purpose. It's very healing for the way we present ourselves in our relationship to our woman. It's very important. It's very healing for the relationship you have with your family, with your father, of course. Men's work is father work. but also how you relate to your mother, how you relate to your sister, how you become a man, how you are a living man in this world. I think there's only one way to really sharpen that, and that is amongst other men. And there's different calibers of being with other men, right? You have football clubs, which is a certain texture. You have martial arts, which is a certain texture. You have the military. But none is so inclusive as what we in modern day call men's work. Neo-men's work. I don't know how to say that. I mean, tribes have been together with men all the time and still are. So I live in Brazil, and we have indigenous people, we have indigenous tribes, and the men are always together and the women are always together. But when they're out, they're all together, but mostly they spend time separately, which is a natural sharpening of who you are as a man, a natural sharpening of your consciousness and how you present yourself to the world, the purity of your word, right? The honesty, the integrity that you carry. It only gets sharpened by other men. And especially in today's world where we're separate, I'm here in my own place and I'm not with men all the time. When I present myself, who knows what kind of character I have created all of a sudden in my solitude. As Handemon, there's this old poem. In my solitude, I have seen things very clear that was not true. And so men's work is going back to the root and sharpening us to show ourselves vulnerability, show our true selves, and to live up to our fucking word. I'm not gonna say something in the men's group, which we have on Wednesdays, and then haven't not done it. And if I continue that, at some point, I need somebody to call me out on my bullshit. So that's a big gift of men's work, is being called out on your fucking bullshit, which we all have and still have. And no matter how much work I've done, I still have bullshit comes up. Places where I don't show up fully, places where I don't open my heart fully, the places in my purpose where I'm not going for it. I say I want to do something and I don't do it. Right? So all these places that we cannot see ourselves, right? So there's this, I don't know if it's an English or a Danish term, where it's, you're the last one to know that you smell of piss, right? We're the last one to see, like, hey, I'm bullshitting myself here. And so to be called out on that is a precious gift. You can pay a professional coach for that. You can have a men's group for that. And men's group, you get seen in the broader picture because you're not sitting with just one being. You're sitting in a field, in a collective field, which has a certain sense. The container has an integrity to it, right? Which get built up by the one leading it, the ones holding it. Yeah. So in our men's group, we have no specific person holding the group. We have quite an organic group, which is not always the case. In most men's groups, you have one who's holding the meeting, and that can change, and that's perfectly fine. It just needs to flow, right? And you need to commit yourself that I actually want this. And I might not see the benefits in the beginning because I have to see through all my bullshit. And then at some point, if I keep giving myself to this, it's gonna really benefit you like nothing else does. Having a group of men that you trust and that you can share vulnerability is the greatest gift we can give ourselves as men, I think. Especially if you're in a marriage, especially if you're in a relationship, or if you're not feeling like you're living up to the purpose that you came here for. So I highly recommend men's work. I offer different things on men's work, but go out and speak to a man, share the love, and just try to go on a little bit under the surface. If you have a friend and you have a good connection, if he starts to talk about football, see if you can just dive a little bit deeper, create that intimacy between you. Because nobody wants to live on the surface. It's fucking painful to live on the surface and just talk about superficial shit, if you ask me. You might be aware of it or not. And I think that's the call of healing, right? Is when we become aware that I'm just fucking living on the surface here. I have deeper levels to me. I have a deeper level of my heart, a deeper level of my consciousness that the world is asking to see. Alright? So thank you for joining. I'm signing out. My name is Casper Veda. Thank you for watching.